YouTube Let's Play. We have finished Metroidvania. Well, I didn't beat Guns of Fury, as we all know, but now we're ranking all the games we played before we go bye-bye. So we're going to rank all 15 of the games and see which one's the best. It's a pathetic Photoshop thing that I made, and that's it. Yeah, it's that simple. Swift Ike gave us a big raid as well. Swift, thanks for the 16 months of the Tier 1 subbing. Hope you're doing good, gamer. If there's a mod to shout you out, that would be fantastic. I hope the stream was good. Thank you, thank you. We are literally just about to be done, but we're going to rank these games quickly. We have 15 games. We played all of these. We didn't beat Guns of Fury, sadly. We didn't beat Guns of Fury, but thank you for the resub. Thank you for the raid. You are fantastic. Oh, I almost typed raid Swift Ike because I'm tired. That would be weird. Shout out Swift Ike. Oh, somebody did it before me. Nice. All right, at number 15, my least favorite game by far, if you watched all of these games, Axiom Verge was not one that I liked. I hated the sound design. I think me playing it on hard mode definitely hindered my experience with it. Axiom Verge was just not a good time for me. I know, that's shocking. That's absolutely shocking that Axiom Verge was number 15. I just did not have really a good time with it. Now, I will say, the rest of these games are actually pretty hard to figure out which goes where, because I genuinely think all of the games, even Axiom Verge to an extent, it has a lot of flaws, but it has a lot of positives. I should probably play it on normal next time. I think all of these games are good, but number 14, I think I'm going to give it to Sheepo. It was pretty short, maybe one of the shortest on the list, which is fine. It was still a good game, but it's definitely Kyle Thompson's weakest game. I feel like this is already biased because Metroid Zero Mission is one of my favorite games ever, but I don't want to put it at number 1. So I'm just going to say in terms of experiences on playing these games. Number 13, I think I'm going to go with SteamWorld Dig. It was another short experience, and it was fine for what it did. The upgrades that you got were fine. The Dome Keeper-esque digging was fun. It got a little boring after like 3.5 hours, but luckily that's how long it took to beat the game. Still a good game. I got it for literally like 87 cents, which is a fucking deal for 3.5 hours of entertainment. Good game, but number 13. Number 12, oh, it's starting to get hard. It's already starting to get a little hard, man. It's already starting to get a little hard. At number 12 in terms of these games, honestly, Death's Door. I thought Death's Door is barely even a Metroidvania, but even genuinely, it was okay. Honestly, it was just okay. It was a fine game for what it was. I'm glad I got it out of my backlog finally. It's been sitting in my backlog for a year plus, but it didn't really, like, with a Metroidvania, I want the desire to go back and 100% it, and the desire to go back and 100% Death's Door is not there. The desire to go back and 100% Sheepo is higher than Death's Door, but Death's Door, the combat was fine, the boss fights were good, not really much of a Metroidvania, but it's probably number 12. Number 11 now, oh my god. This is hard, man. This is hard. Number 11, I think I'm going to give it to 9 Years of Shadows. We just finished it. It was game number 14. It was the last one that was fully beat. But 9 Years of Shadows, the combat made the game way too easy. I did get lost for an hour and a half, but I don't even think it was lost. It was more so I didn't see a button to hit, which is more so my problem. I didn't really get lost. I just didn't see a button to hit because it blended right in. But the combat was way too easy. The story was just fine. The upgrades were fun. I'll give it that. The movement was good. I do want to go back and 100% it. The desire is there, but I got like 80% of it done. 80%. I got like 60% this, maybe 75. I don't even want to talk about that one. Don't even want to talk about that one. 80% on 9 Years of Shadows, but it was only just okay. Plus, it was kind of buggy, which was a little disheartening because I'm looking forward to another game this studio is making. But this game was kind of buggy. Like, I would try to go into an elevator, and you'd have to hit up on the D-pad to go into an elevator, and then it wouldn't work, so I'd have to exit the room and re-enter it. And sure, that's small, but that's the Halo music. But it was still kind of like, eh. Yeah, there was also an audio bug where it just kept on screaming at me, and that was also really annoying. At number 10, oh, this list is getting really hard now. This is getting really hard. Number 10, I just want to say all of these games are good. Like, all of these were great games. This was okay at best, but all of these were really good games. Number 10, think I think I'm going to go with Iconoclast. This is another game that I got lost, quote unquote lost, but in my defense, I forgot to use an ability. That's my fault. Also, yeah, I had to beat 9 Years of Shadows twice because the final boss bug. That was annoying. But Iconoclast, like, it's more of like a puzzle Metroidvania. It kind of felt like The Messenger in the beginning, where it takes a while to go in and get the Metroidvania going. I got lost for a bit. The end game felt like it lasted forever. Maybe it was my fault for doing a 10-hour session like I'm doing now with streaming, but the end game felt way too long. Boss fights were good. Style was great. Graphics great. Audio design great. The Metroidvania aspect wasn't as heavy as other ones, and my desire to go back and 100% it isn't that great. Would I recommend this game? 100%. On sale? 1,000%. Definitely play this game. The Game Boy Advance vibes were immaculate, and I still think you should. I still think it's a game you should play. I would still recommend Iconoclast. I'd recommend 9 Years of Shadows to people, but Iconoclast is number 10. All of these are really good games, man. This is really hard. At number 9, we have 9 games left. The 9th best Metroidvania. We're in the top 10 already. I think I got to go with Haiku the Robot at number 9. I liked Haiku the Robot. It started off a little bit slow with it being pretty ambiguous and not telling you anything that you wanted to know. But at number 9, it's got to be Haiku the Robot. Cute game, charming game. But, you know, I do want to go back and 100% it. I'm actually at 99.8%, so I think I just need to find like a little crevice to jump into, which is kind of annoying, but it was still fine. The upgrades were good. I really liked the upgrades. It enhanced the movement. It was fun to collect everything. But, you know, I don't think it beats these games. I don't think it beats these games. The boss fights were also pretty easy in this one. Yep, the boss fights were pretty easy. I'm yapping. This is for YouTube. But still, it was fun. That's the thing. All of these games were fun. They were all fun. But the boss fights were way too easy. At number 8. Number 8. Also, none of these games I 100%ed. How old is Shakira? Shakira's 48. None of these games were 100%ed. At number 8, I think I'm going to do Void Route. Void Route was still very good. Like I said, all of these games are good. I would recommend definitely, 14-1 I'd recommend. Void Route, honestly, I got nothing negative to say. Boss fights were pretty good. My biggest complaint was the game just kind of ended. I only got 60% completion. I want to go back and 100% it. But the game just kind of ended, and the story was very easy to not give a shit about. Like, this story was great, better than Void Routes, but Void Route had better combat for me because I like more action in my Metroidvanias. Woo! The big, giant connected map was nice. I think there was fast travel that made it a little bit easier. A lot of collectibles, but the story being the way it was and it just ended so fast, it's number 8. I did like it more than Haiku. This one has been in my backlog as well for 7.5 months, 8 months. I got this back when it released in October, so I got it for free as well. So, but it's number 8. Number 7, I think I'm going to go with Momodora Moonlit Farewell, which is another game where I got kind of stuck in it. But I got stuck in the regard of I stopped playing for the day at one point, and then when I got back, I forgot to go talk to an NPC, and that made me lose track of time for an hour and a half. Momodora also had this thing where the bosses were incredibly easy, but I could easily follow the story, and it also told you where every single collectible was. It told you it really fast, which was nice. Like, right off the rip, you can collect basically everything, but the story was nice. It started off pretty slow in terms of movement and combat abilities, which kind of sucks. But overall, it was still a fun time. The collectibles really enhanced it. This is actually the first game that I 100%ed. I actually 109%ed this game. 109%ed. And I think this was the 4th game beat. This was, I think, the 8th game beat. It was beat after Axiom Verge. Axiom Verge was beat after SteamWorld Dig, because we took a little Doom break in between SteamWorld Dig and Axiom Verge. SteamWorld Dig was beat after Haiku the Robot, which was beat after Death's Door, which was beat after Metroid Zero Mission. Now, number 6... So I 110% of that one. You could only like 110% Momodora, and I did it. I did it. Also, none of my achievements unlocked until off stream, but that's not really a big deal. Number 6 now. I think I'm gonna go with Gato Roboto here, aka Cat Robot. I did 100% Cat Robot, but this was just stupid simple fun. You play as a cat in a robot suit. It was fantastic. Yeah, there's nothing else to say. I 100%ed it. I beat it in 3 hours. This was the 13th game beat, and I think it was fantastic. And now we're down to the final 5. We're down to the final 5, gamers. The final 5. Holy cannoli. We'll put them up here to make it a little more interesting. Number 5 was probably Yars Rising, which is honestly super surprising because the second that I saw this game's trailer, I thought this game is gonna fucking suck. I won't lie to you. I thought this game is gonna fucking suck. But it turned out to be a lot of fun. It is also another game that I did 100%. I will say the main combat isn't anything super special. The bosses weren't a big challenge. It was fun to go back and collect everything, but the main thing that carried Yars Rising was the throwback to the original IP of Yars with the hacks. I thought that was actually super, super fun, and I might go get all the achievements off stream with the hacks because I have 4 achievements left to get, and 3 of them are based around the hacks. It was honestly a surprise pick. The biggest negative is the price. It's like 38 Canadian dollars, but Atari cooked with this one and publishing it. Way Forward, I think, developed it. If you watch the trailer, it doesn't sell the game really well, but it was really, really fun. The hacks were phenomenal. Is he reading the script? No, I'm not reading the script. This is all off the heart, man. Number 4 now? Ooh. I feel bad because Metroid Zero Mission's like one of my favorite games ever. It's a fucking top-notch Metroidvania, so it's kind of hard to beat it. I'm going to say number 4 is the one game that I actually didn't beat. If you're watching this live, you just witnessed me play this game for 7 hours. Guns of Fury. It was the last game on the list, and it was one I actually didn't beat. I didn't even beat it, and it's number 4. It's a lot like Metal Slug, apparently. Never played Metal Slug, but if it's like that, that game was fucking great. I got to 89.7%. There were 13 achievements for killing bosses, I was told after I waved the white flag. I was told 13 achievements for killing bosses. I killed 12 bosses. I was absolutely flying through it. 12 bosses done in like 5 hours. It was looking so good. The game just got so ambiguous, that's a word I can't say. It just didn't tell you anything at the end. It didn't tell you anything. 89.2% of the way done, but it was a great game. Honestly, I absolutely love this. I am going to beat this game whether it be on stream or off stream. Maybe I'll record the ending just for YouTube Let's Play, but it's getting so late here. I was not able to justify being there because I'm hungry, I'm exhausted, I want dinner, and, you know, whatever, man. We were here for 10 hours, and I feel like that's long enough. I've done a shit ton of 10-hour streams in the past week and a half for this Metroidvania Mania Marathon stuff. And I'm sorry I wasn't able to beat all 15 games, but I was really fucking close. If I didn't get addicted to Doom and Balatro and do my daily doles, I definitely would have had it. But Guns of Fury was great. Number 4, definitely. Number 3, I'm giving it to Kyle Thompson's second game, Islets, which I got 94% of it done. My PC crashed in the middle of it, so it was kind of a confusing upload on YouTube Let's Play. But Islets, of all of these games, if I was going to recommend you a start in Metroidvania, I would recommend you Islets. That game was so simple. I will say the ship combat was a little weird. I got to 94%, but the ship combat was a little weird for me. But overall, it was still really fun. The combat in general was fun. It was very casual friendly, but very easy to traverse. The secrets were fun. The upgrades were great. Buying all the stuff. Kyle Thompson just knows how to make a goddamn Metroidvania. Sheepo was, 14th, but still good. Is Castlevania or Metroid better? Number 2 is Metroid Zero Mission. I absolutely love Metroid Zero Mission, and I still think it is one of my favorite games of all time. I love Samus. I absolutely love Metroid. And Metroid Zero Mission, I got to replay it. This was the only game I actually played and beat before this, and I think it still tops all the other games that we played. It was the first game that we actually played as well. It was great. I love it. I only got 65%. But there's not much really more to say. I would play through every single 2D Metroid if I could. But the best game in this was game number 12 that we beat. Game number 12 that we beat was Castlevania. I have never played a Castlevania game before. And I've heard some people, if you look at like greatest games of all time articles, sometimes Castlevania Symphony of the Night is on those, and I can see why. I fucking loved this game, dude. I was trying to beat it in like a timely manner so we could actually like get to all the games. And like I went for the good ending in Castlevania, or I guess the more normal ending and not the bad ending where you kill Richter. And I got to the inverted castle and was like, all right, let's just get the inverted castle done. I ended up going for 86% of the inverted castle, 84%. I got like 184% completion because I would just keep on going and going and going. Castlevania Symphony of the Night was fucking fantastic. Honestly, a biggest upset for me. I was kind of scared to go into Castlevania because I was like, okay, this is an older Metroidvania. We'll see how well it is. Oh, it was fucking amazing. Even with the RPG elements, it was incredible. Like, I am definitely going to try to go back and 100% this on Xbox, but I absolutely love this. It could easily be...
What you just said burgle clap, is one of the most insanely...
I disagree with you!
At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything
that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. Chibi, thank you for the 500 bits. I greatly appreciate it. Symphony of the Night is the second hardest playthrough from the ones you've done. It'll be fun. That's what matters. Castlevania and Guns of Fury were the most fun to watch. Hey guys, what was the most fun to watch for all of you? But no, genuinely, I think Castlevania, that could probably sneak into one of my favorite games of all time. Right there. Genuinely. That Castlevania Symphony of the Night was fantastic. And I played it for 8.5 hours and didn't even... It was great. Metroidvania May was fantastic. Thank you all for watching Metroidvania May. Hopefully next year there'll be another Metroidvania marathon. Who knows? They seem to happen every single year. We had Metroidvania in July of 2024, and now we had Metroidvania May, where we beat 15 Metroidvanias in a year. In a year. Fuck no, in a month. I beat 14 in a month. I almost beat 15. If I play this off stream tomorrow, I could technically beat it in the end of the month. But yeah, honestly, all the games are great. Axiom Verge was the worst, but I think I was hindered by me playing it on hard, and I hated the audio design, but it was still an enjoyable experience to an extent. But yeah, good games. I was skeptical going into this because, I don't know, I was just skeptical, but I was surprised by a lot of games. Definitely Castlevania, the most surprising. Then honestly, I think Yars Horizon was the second most surprising. Let me save this so I can use it in my video when I'm done writing. Whenever I'm done writing the fucking script for the video. Whenever I do a big project like this, I try to write the script as I go on with it. Also, YouTube Let's Play, thanks for watching. You don't need to hear about my script writing process.